Here, curiosity knows no limits. Now tell me, have you ever wondered what really happens when an elephant dies? I guarantee you, it's way more shocking, disturbing, and absurd than you can possibly imagine. But there's one detail that almost nobody knows. Something that only happens at the very end of this process. Something so strange, so bizarre, that even nature itself seems to fear it. And yes, if you leave now, you'll miss the craziest part of this story. Because what happens in the final days of decomposition will simply blow your mind. So stay until the end, because I promise you, the last scene is the most shocking of all. When an elephant dies, it's not just an animal that falls. It's an entire pillar of the ecosystem that collapses. The smell of death is a signal, invisible to our eyes, but perfectly detectable to dozens of species. That smell travels for miles, carrying a message. A feast is about to begin. And from that moment on, nature transforms into something brutal, terrifying, and at the same time, incredibly efficient. The first sound you hear isn't teeth or claws. It's the sound of wings. Vultures, marabou storks, buzzards, eagles start appearing on the horizon. They know, even before the predators, and right behind them come the hyenas, the jackals, even lions. But there's a problem. An elephant's skin is armor, over 2.5 centimeters thick. Even sharp teeth struggle to tear it. They need an entry point, a wound, a weak spot, or simply wait for something else to open the way. Hyenas try. They bite. They pull. They rip chunks from the trunk, the ears, but still can't open the torso. Meanwhile, the elephant's body starts to swell. The heat accelerates gas production. Methane, carbon dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, building up inside the body. A biological bomb, about to explode. And then, it happens. A sharp pop, a crack, and the body simply explodes. Fluids, chunks of flesh, blood, organs. Everything flies through the air. The smell is indescribable. Strong, acidic, rotten, a wave of toxic gas that even makes the scavengers back off for a few minutes. But soon, they return. Because now, the path is open, the armor is broken, and the feast truly begins. Every animal has its role. Marabou storks rip out the guts. Vultures go for the eyes, the tongue, the soft tissues. Hyenas crush bones to reach the nutrient-rich marrow. And the ground turns into a carpet of blood, flesh, feathers, teeth, and life, recycling itself. It's brutal, but it's perfect. No machine created by humans comes close to the efficiency of this natural process. But there's a rule, few know. Not all meat gets eaten. If the elephant was poisoned, whether by a bite from an extremely venomous snake, like a black mamba, or from human traps, the scavengers notice. And they refuse it. Vultures, known for stomachs so strong they can dissolve anthrax, simply walk away. The smell changes. The acidity of the blood is different. And they know the meat is contaminated. And if they insist, they might die too. While everyone's watching the big players, the invisible army has already begun its work. Millions, billions of larvae, flies, beetles, fungi, and bacteria. They invade every cavity, every piece, every cell. The flesh dissolves. Fat turns into a thick liquid. Blood mixes with the soil, and that gigantic body starts to disappear at a speed that seems impossible. In less than 10 days, a multi-ton body no longer exists. What's left are pieces of bone, ivory, and a patch of dirt stained and trampled by the decomposition. Hyenas take what they can. Rats gnaw on the leftovers, and even the bones, over time, begin to disappear. What was once muscle, skin, fat, and life is now soil. It's grass. It's trees. It's life. Once again, the plants absorb the nutrients. The insects multiply. And the herbivores, who feed on these plants, begin the cycle anew. Everything that is born, one day dies. And everything that dies, one day becomes life. But remember, I promised you that the most shocking part only happens at the end? Well, it's true. There have been documented cases where entire carcasses remained intact, untouched, rotting alone because nature rejected it. Whether because of poison, disease, or invisible contamination, sometimes nature itself refuses to consume death. And in that moment, it reminds us that even death has rules, and not all rules can be broken. Here, curiosity knows no limits. If you liked it, subscribe. If you didn't, subscribe anyway. Who knows? It might get better.